So, this is my clickbait video. I know nowadays everybody's and their mom jumped this wagon talking about Jeffree Star, and I have been silent about this whole issue, whole drama thing, since the very beginning. You know, the Stephen Nicole and the Kat Von D situation first happened, and because I couldn't just make my mind, I couldn't really decide where I sit in the situation. I don't know about majority of the people, especially nowadays generations people, but in my time, Jeffree Star means a lot to me. Like, so first, I'm Taiwanese, I live in Asia, and as this dark interest, gossip interest, and androgynous feminine little boy, at the entertainment world, we need to find a role model. We need to find someone to look at. We need to find someone that's similar to us. And it's very because we don't belong. Because we don't belong anywhere. We don't belong in a society norm. So the very first thing that I can gravitate to in like close to my culture is Japanese rock, like visual kei, the kind of style. But the thing about visual kei is it's very animated. Of course, there are a lot of people into visual kei and live the lifestyle of visual kei, but it's very custom. This is also tied to the whole anime and manga culture, of course, I live to, and still, like, a lot of my aesthetic, a lot of my even personality and influence of my life was come from 90s anime and manga. But like I say, it's have this kind of fictionalized region. You know that someone is wearing that costume, and you can feel that that's just a costuming, a cartooning kind of actor, almost like Jack. Actually, it's pretty much just like Jack. And so even though I have all these people like in the beginning, like Miyavi, like Hide, and like Tien Revolution, and of course, like till this day, Mana-sama is still my mighty god. But you know, majority of those people will be like go home, take off this costume, and become like invisible, and they can put on the show in stage. So till like 10 years ago, I started to get attached and getting into Western rock and roll music, and that's kind of like my emo and sing phase. Well, it's 2006 or 2005, so what else do you expect? But at the time, like, I don't know why, but this artist doesn't give me those kind of vibe. The first band that really draw me into Western rock and roll is Evanescence, and you don't feel like Emily is wearing a costume. It just feel like it feels just more natural in a way. And then of course all these emo bands, all these sing bands, then there's AFI in their screamo phase. That's where I got introduced to all the sing, and of course the queen of the old Jeffree Star. And yeah, at that time I already aware of people like Dave Bowie, Grace Jones, and Boy George, which are like the Holy Trinity for me and really have massive impact in my life. But like I said earlier, Dave Bowie is kind of similar with the visual K idea. They have this caricature, they have this costume they put on, and they put on for the show. But well, that's not the similar thing with Grace Jones or like Pete Burns. They just live their life like that, and that's, for me, those kind of people are more inspiring, more hit home, because for me it's not something I put on to attract attention. It's just to reveal myself, to really show myself. At the time, I wasn't allowed to have self-expression. Actually, even to this day, I wasn't really allowed. But that's another topic. So that brings us back to Jeffree Star. Like, because he come from MySpace, because he was like this internet phenomenon, and that's the time when internet really first began. Before Facebook, before all this shit, MySpace. Remember when people in MySpace, the famous people in MySpace, even need to like post their ID and show they are the real person, stuff like that. Because in MySpace, people are real. We can see real human being, and we find all these creatures that I can never really see, and being real, being all these flamboyant, being all these androgynous, feminine people, and I feel they are real, and they're living their life like this, not as a costume, not as a character, but just live their life like this in my face. Of course, by in my face I mean through my screen on the computer. Then comes that go back to the rise of Jeffree Star. Like, for me, he means so much while I was like 16 and 15 maybe. At the time, I was just start to discover my trans identity. I started to feel confused. Like, I don't know where I fit in. So when Jeffree Star rise was really something that have strong impact to me. Because I see this person, this huge than life, this larger than life personality, who doesn't wearing a costume, who doesn't playing a character, who just being herself, who just being himself, who just being himself, who just being honest and live the true life he believes in, and have this fuck everyone, I'm just gonna do me, the kind of attitude, which I was so in need at the time at my crisis, while I was struggle and discovery about my sexuality and my gender identity, and my self-expression wasn't allowed. But seeing him living in front of my eyes, living his life in front of the whole world, and just being exposed, but homophobia was way much open and way much stronger back then. And not even talk about transphobia and feminine shaming, those misogynist idea. It's really, I just get this brave and get this energy to fight. I would even say that he mean pretty much almost close to David Bowie mean to me in a level. It really was a life changer. If you've been in the YouTube community long enough and you're part of this androgynous, colorful, out there creature, you may remember collaboration channel, Files and Training, then turned into androgyny. And yeah. At the time, you can see all of us, all of them, we were so inspired, we were so influenced by Jeffree Star. He is someone who just put himself out there, who inspired us to do the thing we wouldn't dare to even imagine, we couldn't have the break to do we do have a strength to do. If it wasn't him standing there leading my generations of gender non-conforming trans people to express their true self, to really shock the world without fear of being attacked. Even like one knot, even we are being attacked, we can fight back. We have the power, and that's why he has so much impact for me, because he is such an empowerment icon to me back then. So after all these years been following him, of course, like his fans have been fading out after my space time, and he have some struggle times. And when he come back with his cosmetic line, with all this, we come back with YouTube, and all over Seoul and all over the world over. But then there's all this drama comes up. So I was really don't know where I should stand, because at one hand, if there wasn't Jeffree Star, I don't know where my life will be like, really. I don't know where will I get the strength to get through some of the toughest times of my life. And I don't know who will give me that hope that things can change, the world can change, the conformity, the norm, society norm can be broke, and I can do that. He was the one who told me all this. I don't need to be anybody. I don't need to put myself in any category. Because back then we don't have this non-binary, we don't have all this terminology, we don't have all this world, all this community we have now. And so all I can gravitate really was him. So when all this drama started, I was really torn, and I just keep silence and hold myself back and not to talk, and try not just avoid anything about this topic. And till last week I think, or like 2 weeks ago, the apologies video was up. At the first time I watched the video, I related to so much, because we have all this anger toward the world, we have this fuck you attitude toward everyone, we need this shock value. We get this from the rock and roll world, we get this from Marilyn Manson, we get this from AFI, we get all this middle finger up attitude toward everyone who against us, and we have this internal feeling that everyone is against us for very long. So while he was talking about those situations, I can really relate. And I was a bully once in high school. I have to be a bully so I won't be bullied. It's like no in between. I have to tough on myself. I become that kind of, sassy queen bee bitch that have like a little feminine gay group that was pretty much under my wing, and I'm this queen bee kind of figure. So people are afraid of me because I talk back, I fight back, and people who try to bring me down by words end up being tear apart by my words. And Jeffree Star is one of the person teach me that, give me that power. I'm not saying that I'm proud that I was a bully, but that's what I need to do to protect myself at that time, at the environment. So I don't know about nowadays teenager, because nowadays it's much easier than back then. Like now, I don't have this fear to express myself. Now I don't have all these wall in front of me while I'm trying to just be myself. The world have changed so much in these 10 years, but when we have been through this situation, been through that generation and that time, of course, I'm only like 20 something. People before me have been through way much difficult and way much harder. But I'm not saying that it's easy now, but it's really, I'm just saying it's not as hard, not as difficult. We have so much more resource, we have so much more help, we have so much more, and people have opened their minds so much since then. But by saying this, I'm not, putting down anyone's struggle. We are still struggling every day. The world is not perfect, it will never be, at least in our lifetime. And we always have room to be better, to make the world better, and we always need to better ourselves. So at the first watch of the apologize video, the racism video, I feel that strong connection, and I really just feel like I can let go of the burden of the whole drama situation. I can really embrace and back to my, my unapologetic Queen Bitch Jeffree Star. And my cat is so fucking annoying, sorry about that. But then afterwards, it's just something that doesn't feel fully right. First, that's my cat. So yeah, so this guy just wouldn't shut up. So he's here, yeah. Because how much I relate to him, how much I used to look up to him, and I understand I've been through all this struggle. He stayed in the video. I know where this anger, I know where this protection comes from. I know what it's like to force yourself to be a bully, to be someone that you despise, to do things that's not really because of who you are, but because of what you need to do to protect yourself. And they become our default. They become like fighting fire with fire is our default mood. Anger is our default mood. And word is our soul. That's what we used to, how we protect ourselves and how we live in this world that doesn't accept us and doesn't really have a space for us. So we need to be aggressive, using those shock value, using those aggressive attack to create our own space. So like I say, I was a bully once. I can understand where does all this comes from. To Jeffree, if you're watching this, which I don't really think you would, I can dream. Yeah. You're still a role model to a lot of people behind me, a lot of younger people who haven't got the place I ever got. And I can got this. A lot of part is thanks to you. And there will still be a lot of young people who look up to you like how I used to. So please be the role model that we need in the community and give back and show them we can fight together instead of fighting each other. We can hold each other's hand to make the world better, and we don't need to pull out these defensive, over the top, aggressive armor. We don't need to be the bully is to protect ourselves anymore, to show us that the world is changing in a positive way, that we don't need to fight fire with fire anymore, that we can really just be ourselves and be in peace with it and be happy about that, because that's what we need for the future. I don't know how long it will take to get there, but you will play a big role on that, because you have been doing that for so many people. You haven't been doing that for so long. Originally, I was wanting to do another makeup look on Prime Month, like a rainbow look with a twist and with a similar concept as how I want to talk about this armor, this defensive, this concept that happen to allow your workforce to be the bully, so we won't be bullied. Then a lot of shit happened in life, and I wasn't have time, wasn't able to do that. So a lot of the concept and idea was I want to express in that video was just already put in here. And next video I will have a model collaborate with me, and that's the first time I have a collaboration on my channel, so I'm very excited to have that, but it will take a long time to edit. Not sure when I'll be finished, maybe like 2 weeks. I hope, yeah, I'll put some sneak peek on my Tumblr or Instagram if you're interested in. Yeah, follow me there. Like the video if you could, and like the video, and like the video, subscribe, open the, I don't know what called, the notification thing. Yeah, all this thing, basic YouTuber stuff. And if you have the ability, please support me on Patreon. Until next time, see you soon. Bye.